Hello, fellow wanderers. I'm Endri, and thank you for joining me as we wander through some more Sunless Sea. We have to head back to Fallen London now. We have nightmare problems. In the watches of the night, you pad softly past the hatch of the crew quarters. A man cries out softly to sleep. Desperately, another. We're going to ignore them. Crew is subdued as they take their meals, but all is quiet in the next watch. Lose one terror. We don't have good enough pages, I think, is what you need for that. We're good. So, we are headed back home. We're basically just going to sail due west, really. We need to bring 20 sacks of coffee to the Khanate at some point in the future. And now that we know where it is, it does make the trip a little more manageable. Searching takes a lot of fuel. Oh, there's a lightship here. Let's stop and say hi, shall we? Certainly can't hurt anything. Most of our money for this trip is definitely going to come from port reports. Now, we do need to go, well, accomplish some other things. Speak to the crew. The bleaching glare of the lens, among the smell of oil and metal, you sip tea and chat. The Z terror recedes. This is a good way to get Z stories, and you do lose 5 terror, and it just costs you news, which means it costs you nothing. And Z stories can be used to buy things in Wither, in particular mutter salt, which is very hard to get otherwise. We're going to take a detour because I don't want to deal with the jelly floor. I don't have very good weapons on this ship. And I would be guaranteed to take some more hull damage, and yeah, just the least less hull damage I take, the better. So let's see, what are our current goals? To return to London, obviously. We would like to get an heir, definitely. I would like to increase my mirrors and my veils by quite a bit, actually. Oh, what else? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good not. Thanks. You've got the island down there. We might as well stop. You are such a pain. You're not going to give me a choice but to fight you, are you? So, I guess we're doing it this way. I hate you so much. It's actually a fun little event. It's just, with this ship and this gun and my low iron, it just takes forever to shoot this ship to pieces. And like, I've had it where I've sunk her, gone one tile down, and she's back. Which, if my guns and if my iron and mirrors were higher, would be a lot less irritating. But they're not. So, yeah. She actually has some of the better AI for ships. I'm sure you've seen from the pirate pinnaces I've sunk. They tend to actually not be good about keeping you in their firing arc. She's actually pretty decent at it. She's not perfect at it. And see, now if we get in her firing arc again, we're in trouble. And a fog bank rolled in. I'm not sure if that's good for us or not. A chunk of grit baking your ship's biscuit, you crack a tooth and curse. The crews chuckle, but when the object turns out to be a diamond, small and badly flawed, but with a diamond nonetheless, they all hush. Diamonds are sacred to stone, one says. Give it to the Z, Captain. It'll be luck for us. Sailors pray to stone when they want home, hearth, and healing. She's the kind of god you want on your side, so we're going to chuck it. We now have stone's attention. We now know something of the 3 gods of the sea. We've lost 5 terror. Diamond glints once as it reaches the apex of arc. Down, down as a wave reaches up to take it. Well, that gave us a little extra time to charge up our guns while she was stuck on the rocks. Oh, don't go too far to the side. And we sunk her. We will investigate the wreckage again. Once again, you are victorious. Pirate Poet hauls herself on the rope, nodding her gratitude to the crew. Another battle well fought, Captain, she grunts. Few words a second verse. Along with her freedom prize, she brought it a gift, a cask of wine saved from the sinking vessel by her own mighty arms. It's a fine vintage. My men were saving it to toast our victory against you. Perhaps you would join me to a drink to them? We get 400 echoes, and we get a cask of mushroom wine. Fair enough. I can't actually really complain about 400 echoes for taking one shot to the hull. Especially since I was going to have to repair anyway, and it costs the same regardless. One thing to keep in mind, if you go to Pigboat Island and you side with the rats do repair crews, but we'll probably cover that in the next captain. I actually usually prefer to side with the rats for some reason. We have in fact done all of these before, so I am not going to be rereading them. We could buy more fuel, but I actually think we've got enough fuel to make it home. There is actually another port directly to our west. It leads up to the surface. It rewards no fuel and only 5 echoes to do a port report there. You can get memories of the surface there, though, which are useful. However, I mostly just want to get back to London. Now let's see here. So, Veils and Mirrors, I definitely want to get up. And after that, I can get the second book. And then I need to get 20 sacks of coffee to the Khanate fairly quickly, because I need to progress there to get the romantic literature I need to give to the Venturer. It's a lot of fog. And it dawns on me, I don't think we've actually been to Mutton Harbor. Speaking of which, there's Quaker's Haven on Mutton Island. Guess we could visit. Can't hurt. Uh-oh. We've already been playing that long. Wow. Where's the dock? It's probably nothing. Ship slides into dock. I was not expecting fires on the hillside. Once a simple fishing village was a part of London suburbs before London fell and the waters rushed in. Smoke spirals from the cottage and chimneys. Visit the hilltop above the town, sure. There's not much wind in the undersea, but Mutton Island suffers eerie gusts and buffets from an inexplicably local fragment of weather, and the air on the hilltop sometimes carries interesting scents. Toast to the wind. You stand on the cliff top looking over the little village. Smoke from the chimney of the Cock and Magpie drifts straight upwards. As you watch, the smoke tilts. The sudden wind thins into pencil smudge, and then nothing. The wind screams unexpectedly, like a god cut in half. What a noise! It must be the caves around the island channeling the air. At least that's the most comforting explanation. Below you, the locals each take nips from a shared flask and make a toast towards the mainland. The wind is southerly. Gain 2 terror and 30 fragments. That doesn't seem like it was worth it. Let's chat to the fishermen. They sail the sea around the island. They mend their nets by the harbor. They see all that happens here, but you'll need coin to open their mouths. 2 fresh-faced fishermen are glad to greet you. Can't think of anything, Captain. We had a good catch. You present another coin, and the other fisherman shakes his head. It's true, Captain. No news here. The first nods. Tell the Admiralty how well all's in order. Their eyes bright with their smiles. You have 1 report. All right. I thought we were actually going to trigger a different event in Quaker's Haven, but we didn't. So that's fine. Time passes on that island. Time passes in the game, actually. There is an internal counter. I believe it's called Time the Healer. And it increments every time you visit London with something awaits you. I think actually it might increment anytime you visit a port with something awaits you. And it doesn't have a lot of effects, but it does have a few, especially like in Godfall. Godfall, it has a few effects. Now, sadly, Nuncio is a long way away from us in this particular file, so we're likely not going to bother. But we will help the Khanate in this one. Well, not help them, get their favor, as it were. 20 coffee, which I'm unlikely to be able to carry on this ship. Oh, but we did get a captivating treasure. I forgot about that, so we'll be able to turn that in. Very nice. Very nice. Well, let's collect messages. Something has changed underneath. That's Time the Healer. Yep. Someone wants to sign on. All right. We could do this. Let's talk to the Alarming Scholar. I want to give you intriguing snippets. This will do very well shared. Thank you. We get 50 echoes for them, and I don't believe they're useful for anything else. So I am going to sell them the Extraordinary Implications because they're worth a lot. And I'm not too worried about having them on hand. That's all I really want to do here. Let's go to our lodgings. Read the morning paper. Definitely. Let's visit my study. We could create a shrine to stone, but I'm not going to. Is that the only one we had? I think it was. Okay, good. Let's head to London. Let's deliver our Clayman. One by one they rise uncomplainingly, with no trace of stiffness or discomfort from the long voyage. The deck resounds beneath their heavy tread. A shroom yard manager waits on the docks, tapping her foot. About time, she says. Here's your payment. Come along now, you. There's a good construct. You get 120 echoes, and it costs us nothing, so yay! Let's carouse the docks. We have recent news, 10 echoes. There we go. Nothing changed there. And we'll talk to the likely lass. I'm surprised nothing happened there. Irrepressible Cannoneer. Ooh. Sir, are you looking for a gunner? I'm looking for a ship. Here are my references. Here are more references. Here's my design for a whistling shell. Here's my colleague. He'll stay on shore. Here's my hand. Will you take it? Oh, this is interesting. Room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. Wait, let me make notes. Paper. Point your mouth. Yep. So we got the irrepressible... Wow, I can say things. The Irrepressible Cannoneer, who is actually a really cool person. Really cool storyline that we are not going to get into this time. We could visit the tattoo parlor. Iron. Veils. Yeah, we could unlock a few of these. I'm going to unlock mirrors, actually. Lost 20 terror, gained 2 mirrors, lost memory, distant shores, we got plenty, lost 1 echo. The gold needle pricks, Lily Clathermont hums. As you end the process, the tattoo's gaze is so expressive, you almost have to blink. You're almost hesitant to look at your own arm in the eye. That's funny. Little gift. This is not a bad thing to grab. It's a good way to make some... sure, why not? A very fine evening to you, Captain. What you might call mentor is very fond of adventurous sea captains. I'd like to make an offer to you that you might call a dispensation, on account of he is so fond of sea captains. Behind the blind bruiser on the docks stands a dray piled with fuel and supplies. Do make sure you have 15 points of space on the hold, or come back later. It'd be embarrassing to leave it on the dock. We have 15 points of hold, definitely. You get 10 fuel and 5 supplies, which is beautiful. And we gain suspicion. Well, my patron hopes you'll find these little gifts to be your liking, and he expects that perhaps someday you might choose to call on him at Medusa's head. Should that day come, we will make you very welcome, and give you any safe conduct that you might require. Good evening to you. He salutes and is gone. Yeah. 21 bolts of spider silk. Ugh. That's going to be so much of a pain. That's so much of a pain. Okay. Anything else we need to do here? We need to put our ship into dry dock, that's for sure. Alright. We now need to go to the shop, because I have things I want to get rid of. I want to get rid of the Casket of Sapphires. It's actually useful for several things. I could sell that for more other places, but I'm not going to bother. Well, right, that's right there. And Pail of Parable Linen, I'm going to sell that as well because it's taking up hold space. That gets rid of most of the stuff I actually want to get rid of. Oh, speaking of which, speak to the Catterlier. Invite her to dine with you. Let's do that. She wields the fork in the way she wields the surgical instrument. The cooked flesh arrives still in its shell. From the claws, 8 legs, body and head, she renders a dozen neat, bite-sized piles of shredded flesh, sutured with mushroom or pinned together with the needle of chiton. Perhaps she has missed a calling as a chef. She denies it. My mother was the child of a surgeon in the first city. You might say that knife work runs in the family. There's a wicked, quirking smile at the corner of her mouth. Then there are those rumors about my father. She would deny any truth in those. Her father? She becomes more talkative when she has something to cut. Perhaps you can get her to say more about her father. So because we have a strange catch. There's flensing, deboning, an orderly region of scales from large to small. This was the creature's favorite organ, she says, working briskly with tweezers and blade. Don't touch it. The bits are toxic. She only turns to personal matters when she's had a chance to rinse her fingers. I get my proficiency with metal from both sides of the family, she says, watching your expression closely. Then, Mother was a favorite with Mr. Iron, she says. She says that they only work together, that Mr. Iron sponsored her work and she provided her with tools. Sharper tools that do not bend so easily. To go any further, we need a live specimen. So, we might not progress this any further, sadly. Live specimens are very expensive. Very, very expensive. So we have 15 extra cargo space, but we're not done yet. We still have to turn in all of our port reports. Which is all the way down here for once. Oh. Avid Horizon, northeast of London. Speak to her, yeah. That's going to be a little out of our way. We're going the opposite direction. Gators Moor we've seen before. Hunter's Keep we've seen before. Fort Cecil we've seen before. Shepherd Isle we'll put in as hearsay. It's not worth as much, but why not? Ah yes, the place that lures away postmen. One hears no end of complaints from the postal service. Fair enough. And the salt steps say, yes, the kind of material is always of interest. How a nation could be so barbarian and so decadent at once is beyond me. But they're terribly dangerous. 75 echoes! And a fuel. King with 100 hearts, yep. No big problem there. Ah, the island that looks up. I don't suppose you found out what he's staring at. Nope. Oh, these are always fun. Come on, let's hear it. You can lose terror when you turn these in, but we're already bottom of our terror. Getting along well, you say. Yeah, 5 echoes, but we do get a fuel. We're pretty well done there. We have way too much fuel. Oh, way too much fuel. Way too much fuel. Well, I mean, we could make the journey to Khan's Heart with just 5 cargo, but I really don't want to. It seems terribly wasteful. So does selling that fuel, to be honest, but what can you do? So let's grab 10 coffee, shall we? Because I'd like to get that part done. By the way, no, we can buy spider silk here. We could, if we had 2,100 echoes, we could just buy the spider silk, give it to him. Do not recommend it. It's a massive waste of money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could just hold shift. I don't know why I always click it individually. Anyway, we're off. We are going to head back to the Khanate, I think. Avid Horizon's over there. The Khanate actually isn't that far away, which is kind of nice for this trip. But yeah, we need to get in with the Khanate. There is one other way we could get the items needed, romantic literature. It actually requires significantly less cargo to be hauled. It does require us to cross the undersea twice, which I'm a little loath to do, gonna be honest. How many secrets do I have? Only 20. I'd like a few more. I'd really like to get my mirrors up, actually. But it's rather difficult to do unless you buy a new light or something of the sort. We're passing by Abby's Rock. We can stop in and say hello, at the very least. Not much to be done here, but we can stop in and say hi to the martial nuns. I mean, they're considered a military force. And I don't need terror reduced, so there's not much else I'm going to do there. Like, if they were on the eastern side of the block, where my terror would be a lot higher when I got to them, they'd actually be significantly more useful. As they're not so much reason to do so. There's the Oral Megalops. He is going to attack me. I'm not going to be able to kill him with one shot, but he missed. So, good for us. We're going to dissect it for knowledge. It's not dead. Haul aboard, work with your knives and acids, and it flops unexpectedly to life. Sailors rush to your aid with guns and boarding pikes. And they finished, you're unharmed, but there's not much left of the beast. Ah, well. Pity. Those sorts of things become more routine later. It actually becomes really worth hunting the darn thing, because you can really have a trouble gaining secrets. Barring spending a ton of money on them. You can actually buy secrets in this game. In Irem, which we have not visited, and may not visit, actually. We don't have much reason to with this captain. Let's do errands for the Acolytes. We have 200 fragments, sure. Not entirely original work, at least it will make a change from our usual rounds of children ditties and airs from half-remembered operas. She's pleased by your thoughtfulness. We now have 9 favor with the Acolyte. Okay. I don't actually know what that event line does. Normally my captains don't come back to Station 3 often enough to know. But hey, it's there. So all I'm missing now is a cook. A cook would be nice. You give me good veils, right? Yeah, you're plus 8 veils. You're plus 3 veils, actually, for a first officer. That's not bad. Parts and iron, and just tons of iron off of the irrepressible cannoneer, but that's alright. So I think the next goal that I might do off-screen is delivering coffee to the Khanate. Stop it! Go, turn around! Really? So one of the things you're going to notice about We Are Clay, it didn't hit me. So it tried. It charged at me, but if we're going full bore away and we have We Are Clay, the engine power is enough to get us away from Gillifloors. And the Oral Megalops, actually. So We Are Clay is really worth having. Not just because it makes it easier to keep your crew small, but that extra engine power is pretty significant on this boat. It will not always be so, but on this boat, it's fairly significant. Alright, we're almost back to the Khan's Heart. We're not going to have as much to do with this particular run, because it's basically just a straight run over and a straight run back, which is fine. Sometimes those runs are good. You don't always want to explore every island on your way. It can get a little tedious. It can get a lot tedious, who am I kidding? So first we'll stop up to turn in our coffee. We could actually buy coffee down here for cheaper. There's a place I want to visit down there too, but that might be saved for another captain as well. Captain that's going to live a little longer, as it were. There is actually something else I can do on this captain as well. Alright, we're going to offer a gift to the leopard, offer a gift to the leopard. Alright, there we go. We don't need to get more suspicion. There's no reason to do that. I will try and gather a port report. Just because. And then we'll head back. Though I think I will, once I get done in Khan's Heart, I'll call it a part there. And I will get the last bit of coffee. And head back here and we'll continue from there. So I can show you what's actually in Khan's Heart when we can get in the Nephrite Quarter. First, I should have an event. So let's wander Khan's Heart. Foreigners restricted to the Copper Quarter, but as long as you don't try to cross the bridges, you can explore there in reasonable safety. Canals of the heart are lit by incandescent filament lamps and the bulbs of glass in a multitude of colors: ruby, sapphire, topaz, emerald by turns. There's nothing else like it underneath or on the surface. You spend a happy quarter hour strolling the alleyways of the Copper Quarter until an irritable workman sees you eyeing the bulbs and accuses you of plotting their theft. Use 2 terror. Nothing particularly great there. And we'll gather a port report. We failed. I'm not going to try again. I'm actually surprised it's this difficult to do already. With 61 veils, I would expect it to be easier. But that's alright. I'm going to head back on home to London, grab the rest of the coffee, and I will meet you all next time. So until our paths cross again, have fun and stay safe, everyone.